The Mystic Meals Podcast.
The Mystic Meals Podcast.
With your host, Chef Meow. We talk about food, life. Oh, and we also talk about...
Oh, yeah!
Baby. You better be ready. Right now, here's your host, Chef Meow. Get it, baby.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to a very sweet and salty episode of the Mystic Meals Podcast with me. I'm your friendly neighborhood homegirl, Chef Meow, and on this episode, I have the pleasure of welcoming one Miss Laura Brennan, aka Chef Elbe. She is the owner of the wholesale bakery, confectionery, and sweet shop in Portland, Oregon, called Sweet and Salty PDX. I stumbled upon her while scrolling through TikTok back in June, and it seems that some of the people in the community were giving her a bit of a hard time and being rather salty about just, you know, the whole pride thing, the flags, the joy, the everything of what she stands for. I don't know. Every once in a while, I guess people come out of the woodworks and they're not having it. And for some reason during Pride Month, like people just go at it. I don't know why, but that compelled me to reach out to her and see if she wanted to talk about her story. But knowing how chefs and bakers are, the life be busy. And I am so grateful that she took the time to be with me today. So without further ado, let's get right to it with Chef Elbe. Meow.
Okay.
Chef Elbe, hello, mama.
Hello, Nikki. How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thanks for having me on your show. I love it.
Oh, thank you so much for taking the time to be with me. I know that you are a busy mama.
I am.
Yes.
Although I love it. I love it so much. I love to be busy, so I couldn't be happier with that.
That's good. That's good. Well, in my intro, I stated that I found you while I was scrolling one day on TikTok, because you had posted a video back in June that you were having to deal with some shenanigans from certain people in the area of the Portland, Oregon, where you be. And that just kind of led to where we are now, here at the almost end of the summer. So I'm so grateful that you had the window of opportunity to talk to me. But I really want to hear all about who you are, where you're from, and how everything got started with Sweet and Salty PDX. So let's start with your superhero origin story.
Okay, well, like any good origin story, I have a fantastic place of birth. I was born here in Portland, Oregon.
Nice.
And so I'm a local girl who grew up in the PNW. I lived here until I was like 6 or 7. Then I lived in Eastern Oregon and this tiny little place called Umatilla, not a culinary hotspot that you might think it is, not at all.
Sounds interesting.
But it is interesting because it is where I got my, actually my love for working in food and being in food. My very first job, I worked at like a dairy, it was a dairy freeze, 14 years old to 18. I worked there for 4 years, flipping burgers, making shakes, doing the whole thing. Loved it.
Fun.
And it's fantastic. I still stop there when I go through.
Aw.
Yeah. So that's kind of how that happened. And then when I was in college, I worked in restaurants, various places while I was putting myself through school. And then I went and had a serious job for a while. And that serious job was awful. I worked in a jail for 15 years. I was a corrections deputy. Horrifying. And it was a long time ago, but it was still not a good time.
Still obviously still has a profound effect. Right?
It does. And it also is the reason why I went into my next industry. So I was working in the corrections in the 90s, and it was a weird time. It was community policing. So it was a whole weird time. But then also too, I noticed a lot of very strange things while I worked there. I lived in a town and a city that had a little bit of diversity, but my jail seemed to have only people of color in it. And I was thinking, oh, well, that's some weird math.
Right.
And I'm a queer woman. And also I noticed that there wasn't a lot of queer rights going on, gay rights going on. And so I was a bit of an agitator while I worked there. So that was good and fun for me. I did that for
serving
15
its
years.
purpose, right? Because it got you on a path of discovery in a different way, right? Like something's
Well, see
amiss
what
here.
Yeah, and the reason I did it was because I grew up very poor in Oregon. I grew up below the poverty line. And
Mm,
so when I got out of college as a queer woman, there wasn't a lot of opportunities. You could be a nurse, you could be a PE teacher, or you could be a
right.
cop. That was it.
Yeah.
And so I somehow fell into the sheriff's office. I started out just being a public safety officer, working a desk because I was still finishing school. And then I just kind of got recruited to the other side and worked my way into it, taking tests and all that. But it was not the life for me. I'm an
Wow.
artist, I'm a photographer, but I was in that trap of I grew up so poor. I needed my only job as an adult was to find a job that had stability and insurance and a pension. And it was the first time I'd had any of those things in my life.
Right.
And I was glad that I did. It offered me the opportunity because this was the 90s. I was actually able to purchase a home, which is unheard of, right?
Right.
And so it was a devil's bargain sometimes.
Mm,
The other part of it was that I did meet my ex-wife. I met my best friend. I had significant relationships that have followed me through my life. But while I was there, I started going to this little event out in the desert in 98 called Burning Man.
mm-hmm.
And so,
Okay.
so
Nice.
I started realizing that really creativity was where I really needed to be. And I needed that community. So that was like my little side hustle was I was always doing my Burning Man groups and then having to still show up at the sheriff's office.
Mm,
Weird world. So
yeah.
eventually I got out of it. I just couldn't do it another single day. So got out of it and had met my partner by then. And him and I are traveling the world and we're both photographers. And we opened a photography business and it was fantastic. We loved it. And then my best friend's mom got breast and lung cancer.
Mm.
And that changed everything for us. We are pot smokers. We love cannabis. We love it, love it, love it. And
Yeah.
we were
Keep it
growing
green.
it. That's right. We were growing it for ourselves.
Yeah.
And when my bestie's mom got cancer, I started making her edibles. And she
Mm,
had offhand said to me, "Hey, there's probably some people around Portland that need this." And this was
yes.
before legalization. And I went to a clinic called Mama's.
Mm-hmm.
And Mama's was having a potluck and I was giving out my edibles and some young kids came up to me, young being 21, 22, and
Right.
they said, "Hey, our boss needs edibles for his medical dispensary." I met this guy named Bo who owns dispensaries here, Brothers dispensaries here in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day or two later, we shut down our photography business and started making edibles for Oregon. And it
Wow.
was a very fast change. I was making edibles out of my home while we were trying to find a bakery. And, nobody was going to rent to a cannabis baker, especially before legalization, right?
Right.
It was
Right.
that was the thing. So
It was still new. Yeah. A fairly new
so new.
concept. Yeah.
Well, then we randomly, my partner Hovering ran into a landlord at a dispensary who was complaining because his tenant had moved out overnight. And he said, "Hey, I need to build a bakery. I need a bakery." And we met, and the next day we signed a lease. And so
Wow.
I'm in that bakery now. And so we
Wow.
built this bakery. I had never built a bakery before. I'd never run a bakery before. I'd
Mm-hmm.
never run a business with food teams, the Oregon Department of Agriculture, lab
Right.
testing. We were inventing the airplane and flying it at the same time. It was
Yes.
wild.
Yes.
And that was 14 years ago. So
Wow.
I did cannabis for another 12 years. It is not the life for a food person. I got to tell you that right now.
Mm,
It's a very disappointing industry to work in. And
mm.
then I got out of that 2 years ago and I have been the happiest I've ever been. I have the same
Wow.
bakery. I'm making better products without any bureaucracy and I'm doing it the way I want to. And I'm just having a blast. It's so much fun.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was
Like
a very long answer. Sorry, Nikki.
no, that was incredible. I mean, because what a journey, and I think it's inspiring to hear because I think so many people are like they're reluctant to make that change. Especially like going back to when you worked in the jail. It's like
Yeah.
you did that for a long time, and like what a switch of gears to go. You know what? Like I am not happy. Like this is not. It served its purpose for you, but man, like I need to like really pay attention to what's going on from within, and you bet on yourself. And I think that really is something that is important for people to hear. And like I said, inspiring for other people that maybe struggle with that, but I don't know how to do it. Like, I can't, like you just got to shut your eyes and do it.
You do. But I will say this. I have given up a lot to be living a creative life, living the life that I want to live. I've given up the life of stability. I've had 3 one-week vacations in 14 years. Mm-hmm. I work 6 to 7 days a week. I work 12 to 14 hours a day. And so I'm so happy doing those things. But I do want to tell people when they are thinking about making that jump, the jump is a 24-hour jump. You're not jumping for 40 hours a week. You're changing your life. You are putting everything into it. And by the way, I think more women need to be doing this. I absolutely believe that women really need to take this leap. We just, in general, are not encouraged to do it. And there's nobody on this planet stronger than a woman. And a woman is made to run a business because we're strong. We're puzzle solvers. We're multitaskers. Absolutely. We're very unemotional when it comes to business and money. We do well. And I think we've just been discouraged historically from doing that. But it's a blast. Do it. Jump.
People are always saying like how, girls are more mature than boys. And it's like, well, yeah, we are. Yeah. So then why are we not then, encouraged to lead? Just as they are.
The word patriarchy.
Right. Exactly. But I definitely feel like across the board that, women in every realm are really starting to use their voice and flex in that way. And, just being like, you know what, I can do it. Like we manage so much.
I want to say something as an elder auntie. I'm 58 years old, and
elder auntie Elbe.
Auntie Elbe. This is one of the most amazing things that I see. I know that social media, it can be harmful and I get it. I really do see it. I see the dangers of it.
Yes.
But here is the other side of the coin that as an old queer, hardcore feminist that I get to see. When I was trying to message to my friends in my community, we had zines, and that was it. We had to make these paper products, and we had to go to concerts, and we were only hitting the girls who already knew what we were trying to say.
Yes.
I have learned so much from TikTok. I have learned so much from my own, from women my age, older women, and I'm watching these young women have this tool in their pockets. They have this thing we didn't have, and I am so hopeful for women because of that. We had my generation and before us, we had such a struggle even to be able to talk to each other.
Yes.
Now women have this ability to do like what you and I are doing right now.
Right.
This is what I love about the future. I love this part. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, being able to connect with other like-minded people and to kind of have that positive reinforcement. I recently befriended someone on TikTok again who is in the same age bracket as I am. She just turned 50. She's starting over from scratch. She's just, her life got upended. Her marriage failed, like all of that. And she's like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, you know what, girl, neither do I. None of us do. But you just know that there's more to it. Like you've got to do something. And when you really lean into those parts of yourself that maybe you kind of dim down, it's empowering. And then when you get to have exchanges like this with other women that have, kind of paved the way and, keep those, torches lit. I think it's important, so that's what I'm saying. Like when I, being a chef myself and, discovering you and what you were doing, what you were about, and just how outspoken you are, and you're just authentically yourself, no matter what. It's important for people to see that, that you can, you could just say, fuck it and not care. You know what I mean? You get to that point anyway, where you just let go of all of that stuff. And you're like, I just want to live my life. Okay.
I mean, and I promise women that when you say that, you become stronger because you are actually believing in your own intuition and your own strength and your own intelligence. I just really wish we could do it a little faster, right? Just really believe in ourselves a little bit more. But keep doing it. Keep kicking the shit out of the patriarchy, please, and thank you.
Yes. I kind of do. I feel like there's a little something to the quiet storm of it, though. Like, I feel like, women are back building. You know what I mean? Like, we're just kind of like we know what we need to do, and we know that if there was an actual uprising, forget about it. But I feel like everybody's just kind of like they're formulating the plan. Like we're doing what we do. We're thinking about it. We're planning it out. We're getting organized in our own way and being absolutely rebellious by continuing to be creative and just using our voice and our talent and our creativity as we should be, and just letting the proof be in the pudding. Like you see it, baby. I don't have to say nothing. That's why you're tripping.
Yeah, for real. And it is that quiet storm is actually probably the reason I get harassed occasionally for my rainbow flag. The pushback is real. But I will say one of the things I do love, you said a quiet storm and people are getting ready. It's so real. I know so many women who have fundamentally changed their life since that election a year and a half ago.
Oh, yeah.
They've got their passports. They're living someplace else.
Yep.
In my lobby, one of the things that's been so interesting to me is maybe about 35% of the people who come into my lobby are new to Portland, or like they say they've been here for a couple of months. Oh, where did you come from? North Carolina, Ohio. Oh, why did you come here? Oh, I wanted to have some civil rights.
Right.
I wanted to live in a state that believed that women were this, or my skin color is okay here. And so that makes me excited for Portland, because more and more people who have that vibe are going to be here voting, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But also too, what also is interesting in my lobby when I'm talking to women is a lot of women are preparing with their women friends how to get out of the country, or how to do this or how to do that. So what I did for my life is right after the election, I started noticing that my friends my age and older were getting very depressed again. And they were kind of siloing. They were kind of staying. I don't really want to talk about what's going on. It's too much. It's too much. So I said, fuck that. So I started what I call Punch a Nazi Supper Club. And so every other Sunday, I have my old queer friends. We meet here at the bakery. We have a private dinner. We just kiki sometimes. Sometimes we talk about politics. Sometimes we talk to each other about electronic wallets and how to stay up to date so we don't get phased out.
Right,
right. And we show each other TikToks. Oh my God, did you see this woman swimming with the whale? Oh my God, and it's fantastic. And we've been doing it for almost 2 years now. And it's saving me, because it's this thing that I can look forward to that's outside of all of the madness, right? And so I'm bringing that up because I try to tell as many women as possible, start your own supper club, whatever your version of it is. Start a yarn club, start a book, but just get your women friend together, and it doesn't have to even be the theme. Just get together and do something outside your norm,
Right.
And
right. Exactly.
That's my TED talk on what we need to do.
No. I mean, I'm here for it. I mean, this is why we're having this conversation, because I mean, not for nothing, like I'm moving to Portland next summer with my daughter. I was there in February of 2025, and I have some friends that live there that are in the business as well. It's just been on my radar for a long time. And when I initially moved from New York to Los Angeles, it was just this instinct that I knew I needed to be here for whatever reason it was. That reason turned out to be my daughter. And it's the same feeling and pull that I have towards Portland. It's the same exact thing. And I'm very much about following my intuition and being confident about that. So for whatever rhyme or reason, the compass is pointing in that direction. So creating a community. I'm a cusp. I am a Scorpio Sagittarius.
Oh, so right. So you're a fixed-ish sign, and you are going through it now. You are supposed to be swapping it up this next 18 months.
Changing it up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right on.
Exactly. And
I'm a Taurus, and it doesn't married to a Scorpio.
Yeah, it does not feel in any way intimidating. It doesn't feel like, oh my God, like I'm like, that's what I'm so locked in with everything that I have going on. But really, one of the main reasons has to do with my daughter, because, it's just a very different climate here. And the community doesn't really exist in the same sense. Like, people like to talk about it, but they're not really about that life. And that's really what we need very much, is a community support. Just being able to expose her to, just a different climate of things. So there's so much wrapped up in that move for us. And I'm very much looking forward to it. So everything I'm doing is kind of like spearheading towards that destination. And it also feels very East Coast coded for me. It reminds me so much of New York and the Bronx, and it just has very similar feel to it. But I also love the fact that there's so much like eccentricity and wildness and weirdness and diversity, which is kind of what I miss about living here in LA, because it's kind of one note. Everybody's like, what do you do for a living? I breathe. What do you do for a living? I'm breathing. Okay, that's what I'm doing. But yeah, I love it. I love to see it.
I hope you get up here, and I hope you enjoy your journey. My only thing to remind you is that it is very dark here in the winter. Please take your vitamin D, please.
Yes.
Please. The dark is real dark. And we don't have, for some reason, for a city that has so much darkness, we don't even have street lights that work very well or good signs. So
that's crazy.
It's crazy. And we're, I'm like, I keep thinking, like, why
that's good advice. That's good advice.
Yeah.
Although I am a spooky child by nature, I must say. The dark and the rain is something that appeals to me, because it does not rain here, girl. And I mean, I haven't seen rain in months. And when it does, it's just like, and then that's it. Like, it's such an event, and then people are like, "Oh my God, I can't drive. I can't." I'm like, like, you can't handle anything, can you?
Well, listen, all the spooky gothy girls, myself included, love Portland for that reason.
Yeah,
there is a lot of darkness and rain. There's so many cozy spots. It is very, very. You will never have a more beautiful fall than we have here in Portland.
I miss that so much. Gorgeous. Like the changing of the leaves and the colors and like. Gorgeous. Here it's just hot. It's just hot all the time. Like one note, man. Like, it's just perpetual summer. I mean, I'm a tropical girl by nature. I'm Puerto Rican Colombian, but geez, man, like, I want to wear a sweater.
I don't know how bakers do that in California. I am so affected by the seasons, how I cook and what I bake. My body's affected by it. My mouth is affected by it, and so. Yeah, I this is not my, as you can imagine, August is my least favorite month as a baker. It's like, come on, can we get to the cozy?
Can we just bypass it? Yeah. Exactly.
I gotta put some ginger in something. I'm ready for some pumpkin pie spice and something. Right, I know. Flavors going.
It's starting earlier and earlier though, like every year, like spooky season, like as soon as June hits and everybody's like, yay, it's here. I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm down. I'm down with it.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Not at all. Not at all. Neither do I. I'm just all about it. And yeah, like I can't wait to get up there and experience it, and being able to just kind of explore, further up, the PNW, and, just absorb it, just trying to take it all in and get lost in the forest. I better
be one of your first stops.
Oh my gosh.
No, I better be one of your first stops.
Girl, like, you're gonna get sick of me. You're gonna help me.
Good deal.
I might even bug you for a job too when I get. You're like, you need some help. You need some help in the kitchen.
How's your hand? How are you about making balls? That's all we do all day.
Oh, I'm good with the balls, honey.
Okay. Really say all the women who work here are good with the hand arts.
Many can testify that I'm pretty good with my hands too. Okay.
I love that for my
I ain't no slouch, girl. I'm no slouch in the kitchen. No, I enjoy baking very much. When I went to culinary school, it was actually part of the curriculum. So, and a lot of chefs I know, like, just never really, like, they know how to do it, but they never really, like, dove into it. And when I was coming up in the business, I was almost always the only woman in the kitchen. And, we got put in garde manger, the coal station. We did the salads, we did the desserts, and like hotline was just not in the cards. And I remember one of the first places I went to after culinary school, I told the chef, like, then and there, I was like, in 30 days, mark my words, I'm going to be on the line. And he was like, oh yeah, you think so? I'm like, yeah, I do. Yes, I do think so. And help me damn sure. I was there. I was like watching the guys doing what they were doing. And, they put me through it. They were hazing me. They were making me look for things that didn't exist, I was like, okay, all right. Okay.
Oh yeah.
But it taught
I
me
worked in
like
kitchens in the 80s.
man,
Yeah, it was
it was
gross.
insane. But it was incredible though. And then when I did finally walk into a restaurant and was hired at a place where there were multiple women already in existence, and it was a woman who hired me, I just felt like, well, okay, finally, like I could be with other women that are just jamming and rocking out and getting cut and getting burned. And, we're all working our asses off. And, it was just great to kind of have that, camaraderie in that way, and work with the fellas and be like, yep. We used to do, sometimes the way the line was set up, it was an open kitchen. So sometimes the schedule would be where all the girls were in the front. So we would go titties in the front. I was like, it's titties in the front today.
Right.
That's
right.
And we knew it. Like we had our thing and we all like busted out the line. The guys are still like scraping to get it together. We're like, la la la, everything's prepped, ready to go. I'm loving it. I'm all about it. And I made the decision to step out of the restaurant business for my daughter's sake, because her health kind of came into play. It was when she was first kind of diagnosed, and I knew that I needed to do something to get ahead of where she was with it. And there was just no way, like, working the way that I was. I mean, the drill, working 6-7 days a week, 12 hours a day.
It's an impossible lifestyle.
It's hard, and it really just tugged at me because I missed so many of her firsts, because I had to work and I had to earn and I had to make the money. And once that came into play, I was like, and it was hard. It was a hard decision to make, but also an easy one. So having to kind of not like reinvent myself, but kind of figure out like, how was I going to still be a part of this business that I love so much, and not identify as being a chef in a restaurant or a chef at the, like I'm a creative person, period. So then like you step into all the other things like you've done, like that you always knew you had within you, like photography and creativity, artistry, like, being able to be a storyteller, to convey, your emotions and your feelings. Like those are all things that you need to kind of have a bit of quiet to figure out. And then that's when I started, thinking about like putting my spices out there and the podcast and, putting my artistry out there. I mean, it just was like, it just made so much sense to do, because now it's like, I'm activating myself all the time.
And, we were talking about that before, about women being afraid to jump. The thing is that they never really think about it. They think, I don't have the skill to do this, or I don't know how to do that. The whole deal is that really, since puberty, we have been acquiring a set of skills in our tool belt that we didn't even realize. We've been learning how to organize. We've been learning how to get out of tough situations with charm, or with our, as women, we're always navigating these really precarious spaces. And those are tools that help you run businesses. Those are tools that help you reinvent yourself. Those are tools that you don't even realize you have. Right. And so I hate telling people that I worked in corrections, because who wants to say that they used to ever wear a uniform in this world, like now? It's embarrassing. But I will tell you, what it did teach me was how to be fast on my feet. It did teach me about organization. It did teach me about safety and security. And it did teach me about how unfair systems are, and how much I want to dismantle systems on the daily. And so those are tools that I keep in my belt. And I will tell you, it even informs me as an employer. I'm an owner operated. I'm here every day with my team. So I am working every day with the people I employ. So that means I am very particular about who I employ, because we're going to spend a lot of our life together. Right. But I don't ever want anybody who works for me to ever feel like I felt before I had this bakery when I worked for other people. And so when you talk about working in a room full of women, the weird thing about being a baker is hardly any men applied to work at a female bakery. Fine. That means I have more candidates that are female. So almost entirely, in all the years I've had LBs, my kitchens have been almost entirely female. It is a joy to watch women bloom in those circumstances. I've had women come to me who've been abused in other jobs, especially in the food world, especially in the cannabis world, and they're broken. And they don't have confidence, or they're so grouchy, and so they hate work because they've always hated work. ma'am, I feed you lunch here. We have a good time. We talk politics. We support each other here. And I feel like that has been one of my biggest responsibilities that nobody ever talked about as a business owner, is creating almost a third space for my employees. You know what I'm saying? Because my employees are here a portion of their life. So let's make it okay. And I only know of this privilege because I get to work with my partner every day. So we're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm not having to separate my worlds out and take away from another world. But I realize my employees are. They're giving up a portion of their life to be here and help me make my business successful. I think that women have the ability to think like this. I think that businesses can be ran with this in mind, that we are hiring people and they have lives. So we're not just hiring people, we're hiring their entire families. So when their family has a problem, that's fine. Go take care of it. Your dog is sick, go take care of it. Yeah, we don't have to be crazy. We're making cookies here. We're not, you know, we're not flying airplanes, right?
I mean, although it might feel like that sometimes. But no, I mean, I had this conversation too with Chef Jacob, who runs Feed the Mass in Portland as well. And he, you know, we were kind of discussing like what kind of environment do we want to create for the people that we work with. And it really is about your mindset, the vernacular that you use, and just the environment that you create, like giving them a reason to want to come to work and to know that it's a safe space for them, and that this is an extended family. You know what I mean? Like we're all working together towards the same purpose. And, you know, I'm hoping that you learn something and get something out of this, that, you know, and it gives you a newfound sense of things and confidence. And, you know, that like when you, like, as you said, when you can sit there and watch somebody kind of bloom in front of you and blossom, like that moment when it hits their consciousness that they just like, they get it, they understood it. Like now you've learned something, you know how to do it. Like that's a priceless thing to share with somebody and to be able to provide. And watching women form friendships with women they never thought they'd be friends with. You know? I think we have to compete in certain rooms. We have to compete with each other in classrooms or in boardrooms and settings. I don't feel like the women who work for me feel like they have to compete with each other. Everybody, I'm very transparent with my business. I let them know my financials about when things are tough, when things are good. I tell them about pop-ups. I let them know my schedule. I talk all of the fucking time. I'm a fucking yapper. And I'm giving women the confidence that information is also great. We can communicate with each other. It's vital. We don't have to gatekeep from each other. I let people see my recipes. What? You think? I know. I'm the same.
You think you can do what I do even if you look at my recipe? No, you can't. It's still my hands. But feel free. Like I trust women. You know, I trust women. What am I going to say? I just trust them. And,
no, I'm with you 100%. I mean, like I've never been that type of person in the kitchen. Like one of the chefs that I worked for, Suzanne Goen, I worked with her at the Hollywood Bowl, and one of the first things that she did with me was put me in a position where I was there to kind of aid and assist anybody else that came into the kitchen. And I remember kind of feeling some type of way about it at first. And I was like, why am I always getting like, you know, like the rookies, like what's going on? And she was like, no, she's like, because you're an excellent teacher. She's like, it just comes naturally to you to just guide people without making them feel like you just make people feel seen. And I'll never forget that, because I was like, wow, okay. Because I never I never looked at myself that way. It just was like, this is how I learned how to do it. This is how you could do it. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Don't think about it too much. You got it. You know, like, just like, let's do it. We can do it. We're all here. Like, fuck it. And I'm like that across the board with everything.
That is such a vital thing for an owner or the person in charge to have. I'm not a natural teacher. I'm a natural yapper and storyteller, but I want to come here and get my work done. I want to put my AirPod in, and I got to move units. But my partner Hovering, he is a natural teacher. I watch him, and, you know, by the way, he's the only man that works here. And so it's always weird to watch women trying to take instructions from him. There's always a little dance at first when we have a new employee. They're like, oh, great, a guy telling me what to do. But his approach, he is, it's so fun for me because I could never. He sits so low in his own pocket. He is so, he's quiet in his instructions. He's
Patient.
walking, side by side. He's so patient and he's just deliberate. He very much has like a black lab energy, like a dog, like a black, he has a job and he's determined and he's loyal. And I think the women also, it's so crazy. I think that sometimes it's the first time they're ever working with a man who's treating them with respect.
Right. And, I was just about to say that. I think that's probably it, is them actually being treated with respect.
It is so sad. It is so sad.
Yeah, without the undertone of like, what do I have to do? What do you want? You know what I mean? Like what's real, like, what are you really getting at? Like, what are you buttering me up for something? Like, I mean, and that's just because that's been our experience across the board. Every single woman I've ever known, not one of us can say that we don't know what that feels like.
Oh my God.
And all of us.
Hovering it. We talk about this. I'm the owner of the business. Hovering works for me. And that's also a strange dynamic for women and employees to see, that a woman owns the business and that the man works for them. And we are very conscious about that too. There is no ego struggle in our kitchen. There is no ego struggle. This is our third business that where we've owned and worked together. But I really also like that my employees we don't fight. They see that he doesn't, sass the boss, there's none of that. Right. There's none of that weird. So they're seeing that it can work also. And they also see when I get fed up.
There's no contradictions and things like that. Yeah.
But they also see me as a woman, if I have to correct him, that I can correct him in front of them with respect. I don't dog him out. I'm not trying to belittle him. It has to be both ways, right? I want them to see that he can be respectful, but I also want them to see that he, the whole picture. Right. And so we're really trying to do something very conscious here about that. We are very consciously women led.
I think that it's important for you to be that example. Because like I said, because so many women are coming up right now and, some feel really empowered and ready to go. And some really need that nudge into like, okay, like, but what about this? And showing them a different perspective, that it is possible to kind of have it balanced in a way that works. And not that it's the norm in most environments, but that's how it is here.
And also it's not the norm in most relationships, right? I met my partner at 38. I had been married to my wife. I had been a lesbian my whole life. So nobody was more surprised than me when we got together, but it takes a special pairing to run a business or to be a couple. And then it certainly does. That work dynamic has to be, just, and believe me, it hasn't always been easy. I lay on the floor and cry tears right into my ears. I rage in the walk-in. I get mad at everybody. I'm not there for certain. Yeah. It's still a business, and for certain, it's still frustrating. And we are still in the patriarchy, and we still work in food. And this administration's a nightmare, and food tariffs are real, and the economy is bullshit, and on and on and on and on and on.
There's no let up. But there just is no let up, and it gets to you. It does, and it's okay. Yeah. It's okay that you have those moments where like, I mean, I cry at least twice a day, if not more. Like, I have my moments too. Like, I have to, I gotta let it out.
Well, I will say that HRT has helped me with that. Now I'm on estrogen, testosterone, and progesterone. I cry a little less.
Okay,
but
good.
I'm still enraged by the patriarchy and the bullshit.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to change. There's no cure for that.
No cure for that.
There's
no GLP. There's no peptide.
Not at all. But that's, I think, those are the embers that keep the fires lit within us. That keep us motivated to continue to do what it is we're doing. And, like even this podcast for me, like it was never about anything other than me being able to connect with other people that are like-minded, that I respect, and being able to showcase them and introduce them to people and just kind of turn you on to something that you didn't know before, like, hey, check this out.
I love that.
And that's it. Like, that's where it begins and ends. Like, wherever it goes, it goes. But it's very self-serving for me because I get opportunities to speak to people like you and, without having this form of being like, hey, do you want to be in my podcast? And even
Nikki,
that is...
Nikki, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop you. Don't apologize. You said self-serving. Ma'am, a man would never say that. You are doing what you want to do the way you want to do it. And that is where you just live in that. Live in that.
Yes.
Don't apologize for that. You're
Yeah.
fantastic. You're doing
you.
something that your mom couldn't have done, your grandma couldn't have done. Like, I think about this all the time, the opportunities that we have. So I'm sorry, you were on a rant, but I wanted to tell you, don't apologize, because you're doing
thank you.
exactly the way you're supposed to be doing it.
I do. I mean, we need to hear it, because, you know, I'm still getting my footing with all of this, right? Because on the other end of it, as you know, with a business, there's other stuff that goes along with it, and then there's expectations, and you know, and I'm like navigating that, and like where I want to be in that, and how I want to represent myself, and who I am. And like I have a manager, and he presents me as like a celebrity chef, and I'm like, I'm like, I'm not a celebrity chef. But I understand. Yeah. I'm like, okay, like if it gets me in the room, okay. You know, just get me in there, I'll do the rest.
You know, I used to have this hang up when I was a photographer, because I didn't study photography in college. And so I felt odd calling myself a professional photographer. It sounded way too fancy for what I did. I was paid to be a photographer.
Right.
I am a paid photographer. That is a professional photographer.
Yes.
It's just like now. I didn't go to culinary school. I wasn't professionally trained to be, but I'm a motherfucking professional baker. I'm a baker who runs a bakery. And so you are a celebrity chef. You do have connections. You are having a podcast. Lean in, girl. Lean all the way in.
That's what all of this is me forcing myself to lean in and just embrace it. And like I said, just kind of do it the way I want to do it. And I think that's the thing, like when opportunities aren't presented to you, you just create your own, as you've done throughout your life. And, you know, I can't say enough how important someone like you is to people like me and others that are observing and watching and kind of, you know, trying to figure it out, like where they want to be, how they want to move in the world, how they should interact with other people, the perspective, like all of it. It's so important for you to keep being that kind of a champion, for yourself and for the people around you. It's so important. And I'm so grateful that we're having this exchange. Like I don't take these things lightly at all. And, I just think you're doing great things. You really are. So I just like mad respect to you.
Elbe. You're so sweet. I will definitely listen. I got here because I have been led and surrounded by some of the most powerful, amazing women in my life. My oldest friend is 84 years old. She drives a pickup truck, pulls a fifth wheeler. She shows up at my parties with a hip flask. She is a wild child. She used to be a cowgirl, like I used to be a cowgirl. The woman who comes to my dinner built me this bakery. Her name is Renee Lachance. She started the first queer newspaper on the West Coast. I mean, I am here because I am walking in the shadow of some amazing ass bitches. And I'm telling you, the women in my life have inspired me. They have pushed me. They have challenged me. And they have loved me in all the ways that, unfortunately, my generation didn't get a lot of love in. Right? I didn't hear I love you growing up. I didn't hear I'm proud of you. I didn't hear any of those things. That's just not how our parents were. But the women in my life, they are proud of me. They do love me. They challenge me sometimes. You know, they're like, all right, you said that out loud. That was weird. Okay, you did say that.
But I love it though. Like we need that. That's what we need. Like that's the kind of, you know, community and camaraderie that we need to keep each other uplifted and motivated, you know? Cause like you said, like we're just bombarded with so much BS all the time that, you know, you gotta like you just did it to me. You just checked me too. You're like, girl. And I'm like, all right. No, you're right, mama. You're right.
That's right. Yeah, we have to believe in we just don't. We have to believe in ourselves because there's just so much programming to tell us not to.
Right. Exactly.
And by the way, so guilty of the same stuff, so guilty of the bad self-talk. I'm still at 58, still trying to beat back those things. Yeah. And I don't know. Have you ever heard the podcast Giggly Squad with Paige and Hannah? Do you know that? Yes. Do you know about them? Yeah. Okay. So I think it was, they were talking this week, and I love their podcast because, again, young women, they're discovering life. I love to hear this. I love how they're doing it. But one of them had said that you give the bad voice a name, like a man's name, because you'd never listen to a man. So who'd listen to a man? So now I just did this today.
Right.
I was telling Hovering, the bad man in my head his name is Larry. So when Larry's talking shit to me, I'm like, fuck you, Larry. I know what I'm doing. Like, so no, Nikki, you just got to give that bad voice a male name.
I mean, you know, the thing is they do, and there's quite a few of them, girl. I'm like, I don't know, like, what's going on here? But no, I'm absolutely all about it, and I love their podcast. Like their takes are always really fun and really interesting with things. But it's great to hear it because it's true. It's like if you could just kind of take it and just put it someplace else in a way where you can manage it properly and not let it.
Fucking Larry, shut the fuck up, Larry.
Yeah, fuck you, Larry. Shit.
Fuck you, Larry.
That should be a t-shirt. Larry's gonna be like, what did I do?
Right.
Gonna be someone named Larry, like what happened?
Well, you married this woman named Karen, Larry, and that's where you got the t-shirt.
Right, exactly. Fuck you, Karen, and fuck you, Larry.
Fuck you, Larry.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, let's talk about some of the stuff that you create in the shop because I know that you're always kind of playing around with stuff. Like I know you recently did like a peanut butter and jelly cookie.
I did. It's really so goddamn good. Honestly,
I was like, oh, girl.
Yeah. I'm using Marion berries, which is a berry only here in the Pacific Northwest. And listen, my food is really nostalgic, I guess. It's really honestly munchy food. I worked in cannabis, so it's kind of like that whole munchy thing. And
because you got like your Chex Mix kind of stuff that you make, like the sweet, salty, spicy. Yeah.
I'm a wholesale baker here in Portland. And so I have food in markets. I have food in the gaming houses. Gaming houses are really big here where you go and rent a game board, you play games. Yeah. And in Oregon, so I have a lot of snacks and sweet and salty snacks in those. And then the breweries in Oregon or any bars, you have to serve food. That's a law here. So if they don't have a kitchen or they don't want to staff a kitchen, then they'll order my Chex Mix or cookies and stuff to sell there for snacking. And so, so we've just slowly been ramping that up we've been open for just under 2 years. And I love that part of it, the wholesale. But then I also have a grab and go bakery. And so everything, I don't have any sit down customers, but you can come in and grab stuff and go. And so this is where I kind of play with what I want to offer to my partners. And so, I have a lot so I do like cereal bars. I have old fashioned, so this is what's kind of strange is my mom and dad were antique dealers and I spent my life going to auctions and antique shows. And when I was a kid, I used to hoard cookbooks. I must have had some premonition that I was going to do this. Right. So I have all of these old cookbooks from like carnivals and circuses. And so a lot of my candies are very, very old fashioned candies. Right. Like old fashioned stirring or no stir candy. And so we do toffee, we do peanut brittle. I also do like the Chex Mix in 4 different flavors. I do Muddy Buddies, chocolate dip marshmallows, chocolate dip pretzels, all of the confections. Yeah. And then I have a refrigerated case and you can only get those things here. And it's usually like banana bread, peanut butter pound cake with chocolate glazes, lemon, just little dessert treats. I'm like, Portland has, listen, Portland has Portland has fancy bakeries. I am not a fancy bakery. I am a nostalgic munchy bakery.
The food scene in general there really appeals to me because I just feel like everyone's just doing what their thing. They're just doing what they do. And I love that. Like, it's not really about like a trend or like whatever. I know there's a bit of a donut war kind of like going on a little bit.
But it's as there should be because there was only one donut company for like 25 years and it was Voodoo, right? And everybody came here for it. And I'm not even going to get into that controversy, whether you should like them or not. But I will say this. Please try Pips. Please try the other ones. They are fantastic. And here's what the other thing is that it's an embarrassment of riches for food. We have some, I don't know how to say this. The food rules here aren't as stringent as they are like maybe in LA or New York. So a lot of people come here to try concepts because it's
Right.
maybe a little easier. You can do
Right.
pop-ups here. You can do, it's just Wild West, to be honest with you. Even our cottage food industry is pretty Wild West.
Right.
So you have all these fresh ingredients, and you have all of this talent coming in.
Yes.
Is it the most diverse city in the world? No. Is it getting more diverse? Yes. That's so good for our food scene, right?
Right.
I probably will get in trouble. I don't think we make the best tacos. I think we are still trying to figure that out. We still need some more of that Southwest influence to come up here, a little California influence. We need that. Barbecue, I'm going to leave that to the experts, but I don't think that there is a definite barbecue spot here yet.
Right.
But Asian food, pick Vietnamese food, some of the best Thai food, some of the best Indian food, fusion foods, crazy how much good food is there. And coincidentally, this was Burger Week, and Burger Week is so dumb. It's so good. 120 places put out a $10 burger with all the different toppings you can think of. I've officially had 5. I've had 1 each day this week, and I am tapping out. But they were fantastic. Yeah, so I live in a crazy food world. Tapping out. Yeah.
I mean, I think when we were there in 2025, it was Dumpling Week. And so that was fun because we went to Lardo, and they were doing these like cheeseburger dumplings that were really fun and really interesting. And I love it.
Just around the corner from me.
Oh, nice. Yeah. A very, very dear friend of mine is the culinary director for Grassa. I've known him forever. We used to work together. That's how we met. He's a maniac, ridiculously talented. His name is Chris Domino. He's probably going to kill me for saying his name, but he's amazing, and he's so talented, and he's a pasta he's just insane. But he's one of my closest friends, and somebody that I'm
their food is no joke.
Yeah,
no joke. It is so good.
He's just insanely talented. Like his background is just it's just off the chain. But he's one of those people that I'm always kind of keeping an eye on, like what they're doing. I'm always like watching what everybody's doing, wherever like all my friends are at. I'm like, what's the food scene? What are you cooking? What's going on there? I just love to see the creativity and how people are like leaning into doing different things. And some people are like,
can I tell you what I'm excited about?
What?
Can I tell you what I'm excited? So, we have all this crazy, amazing food here, but we've never had street food here. We've never had vendors pop up outside of bars and shows. This has only started happening in the last 2 years.
Recently.
So the hot dog guys showing up, the taco guys are showing up, the tamale ladies showing up. Ma'am, the tamale lady in my neighborhood, she shows up with her car and she comes in and she asks my staff tamales. We're like, yes. Those kind of things are so, for me, that's what makes the food scene so much better. Is like our bakery, we close at 10 o'clock at night, which is very late, right? We did that for a reason, because there's no other dessert places that are open after 8.
That are open late, right?
There's just not. Most places close at 8 o'clock. And so we have this nice little 8 to 10 time. But then also in my neighborhood, it has turned into a music scene on the weekends. And so when we're leaving here at 10:30 or 11 on Friday and Saturday, my neighborhood is transforming, and I'm seeing street vendors show up in their vans and then their trucks. And it makes me so goddamn happy. I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
I love it. Give me a street dog. Give me a hot dog.
It's such a great extension to see, like even like, referencing back to Chef Jacob. One of the things that gravitated me towards him was because he's putting together a block party. That, is really, something that I grew up with, because block parties is like everyone came out and everyone just had their grill set up and everyone was cooking and we're just ping ponging back and forth. And I just miss that kind of, again, community gathering, like people like kind of sharing that experience together. So when you can kind of see those little things pop up that are like, oh, that, what do you got going on over there? Something that's
Portland,
really different.
Portland allows you to shut down streets in every little community area. And there are street parties all summer long, and they're all different sizes and shapes and, budget, depending on, it's fantastic. And then we also have the big street closures throughout the summer, like Mississippi, Hawthorne, and these are when the whole street shut down and the vendors are out. And it's, I mean, we only really honestly have 2.5, 3 great months to be outside. And
right.
so
I was going to say, like, there's not a big
we just
window
pack
of
it
time,
in.
right?
No, we
Yeah.
don't. And we pack it in. We pack every weekend is
Yes.
just a
You make the
ridiculous
most
amount
of
of
it.
events in Portland. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I can't wait for you to get up here. You're going to
I
love it.
can't wait either, girl. Like, I'm already, like, half my stuff's already packed already, girl. Like, I'm not playing. I am not playing any games. Yeah, no, I'm so ready for it. And I can't wait to get immersed in the scene and just, you know, absorb it all and see where my place is going to be. I mean, there's so many things that I still want to do and work out. I would love to connect with a nonprofit and maybe kind of lean into the autism space and create an environment where, you know, we're teaching autistic children how to cook and how to take care of themselves and give them the skills that they're going to need throughout life in a way that is, you know, also encouraging to other people to get engaged with them a bit more. I think that's, you know, the awareness of it and kind of just the invitation that it's not what you think it is. You know what I mean? As it is with most people, you know? So that's something I'm very keen into kind of exploring next. But yeah, I
hope
just
you
can't.
I think you can find that here. I really do.
I do. And knowing the people that I've met so far and the friends that I already have there, like, again, like I already feel like we have that advantage of stepping into a community, like I said, in a way that's embraced us already in a way that we don't have here. Not that it doesn't exist. It's just different. It's just in a very different way. So I'm very much seeking like other people, you know, like you, like me, that just love to throw down and just get it done and have fun doing it. And, you know, again, like just showing kindness and keeping it real and raw and, you know, just giving no fucks about what we want to do. That's really it. I'm about my business. I went supernova when I turned 50, girl. I was like, you know what? Get out the way.
I agree. And by the way, every year after 50, only better. I swear.
Yeah,
I didn't think that was
so
possible.
good.
It's so possible. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like when I was 49, my 49th year, like I was so like, I felt so proud and accomplished when I turned 50 because a lot of my people didn't make it. And, you know, I'm just like, all right, you know, 50 down, 50 to go. Like I plan on being an old bag girl, you know, like I would like, let's go, let's get it done. So now I feel like I'm really like hypercharged to, you know, really, really get it going, and learn more and experience more and, you know, kind of, again, be an example to my daughter, of what is possible. She sees everything I do. She sees mommy's always hustling, working, cooking, doing something.
Right on.
Yeah, and it's such a challenge though with an autistic kid because there's a lot of stuff, you know, that they don't like that, you know, like even food's a challenge with her, but she sees the things that I do and, you know, she's leaning in, she's starting to lean in and I'm like, yeah, what you want to taste? You want some? So, you know,
listen, it's a long journey. We have somebody in our family who's also on the spectrum and autistic, and I just catered his wedding.
Oh,
yeah. He's my best friend's nephew.
So happy to hear.
He found his partner, and they're both on the spectrum, and they live with a parent unit, but they have like full adult lives. They work at Amazon. They, you know, they're doing their thing. And so just keep pushing forward.
That's really the goal, is to set her up for as much success as possible.
I understand.
Without, you know, being overprotective and being in her way. That's the last thing I want to do. So navigating that, and that's what I'm saying. Like she's 12, she's going on 13. I'm like, you know, like these preteen times are pretty interesting. But I'm like, I remember what I put my mom through. So I'm like, well, girl.
Yeah. No,
now
listen,
you know.
Watching my bestie go through it with her nephew, and he was going through puberty, and how honest they are and about everything. And it is, you have to be braced.
Yes.
You know,
very much.
The things that would come out of his mouth, we were like, yeah, we'll just deal with that. We'll talk about that right now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, we're in a room full of people at dinner, but yes, we will talk about that one physical act that we'd like to talk about.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah.
Yes.
I appreciate your honesty. Indeed.
Yes.
Oh, that's so wonderful. I mean, I'm so glad to hear it. And I know that we're on the right path. We're on the right track. So I don't have any doubts about it. And the assumption is always assuming that they can, that they can do it. And I try to be like that with everyone in every capacity, like always, like always assume that they can, because yes, they can, in both ways. So let me lean into some food questions here for you before we start to wrap things up. Obviously you're always at work and you're always cooking something, but what are some of your favorite go-to spots in the area that you would probably recommend to me, aside from the ones that you've already mentioned?
Easy. When I am seeking the comfort of my life is Indian food. And there's two places in Portland I go to, Swagat, which has been it's been in Portland for 30 plus years. Family owned, love it. And then there's a place near me called Dwarka. Those are my two Indian spots. 100% of the time, right? Always
What do
go
you
there.
get? What do you get when you go there?
Navatron korma. I love it's a vegetable, 9 vegetable curry or butter chicken. If I'm, if I just need that total, but I make a lot of that here at the bakery too. So so those are probably like, I need something. I need to feel something. I need to cover up a feeling. I'm going to go for one of those. Or especially,
I need some comfort. Yeah,
I need some comfort. It's especially when we get into these cozy winter months, right? And so I'm very much like salad and chicken breast through the summer. But the minute it starts getting dark, I'm going to need some Indian. I'm going to need some Viet. I'm going to need some Thai. I'm going to need some evil jungle noodles. And so there are and then also I have this little spot called Tico's Tacos, and it has also been in the same spot for like 25 years, and it's a drive-through, and it's open late when I'm going home. It is my version of Taco Bell, but it's Authentico, so it's Authentico Taco Bell. Oh, yum 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 yum.
Yeah, you never go wrong with tacos.
And then I have a fondness for my neighborhood, and so I like, there's two like places, like, cause we rarely get a chance to go out, but if I'm going to grab a cocktail, which is rare for me, I go up to a little bar on 7th and Burnside called Dirty Pretty. I like it because they have, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of girly inside. It's just nice. They have a little outdoor space. They do great mocktails and cocktails. And then they've been for about a year rotating their version of a Taco Bell menu that is really, really good. So I like that. Oma's Hideaway is fantastic. There's just so many. What are we hungry for? What do you want? Nicholas's Mediterranean. I've been going to them for 25, 30 years. They were in one spot. I thought, there are some families that, have been doing this in Portland for a minute. And I have been living here. I've lived here, my whole life on and off. And so I go to those places. I will try a new spot, but I do like my comfort.
Yeah, you know where to go for the food that is going to hit. Yeah.
And it's always on the east side. I just got to tell you, it's always on the east side. I used to go to Northwest. I lived in Northwest, and I used to go to the restaurants down there and would hit those spots. Swaggert's is down there. But honestly, for me, there's something about the grittiness of the east side is still gritty. The people who work in food, I feel like they work in food on the east side. You know what I mean? They kind of bang around from place to place. I don't know what it is, but I think it's a little less elevated, obviously, than downtown or the West Hills. And I like that too, because the meals are fantastic, but I don't have to dress up.
Well, it's tried, and it's tried and true, right? Like that the food's always going to deliver, like every time.
Yeah. And then I have places like, if I'm just like needing a protein meal, I'll go to Tight Tacos because they have this crazy little protein bowl that I love. So it's really dependent. It's really, really dependent. And then this week, I never eat burgers.
The burger odyssey. Yeah.
I never eat burgers. I'm a chicken girl. I eat a lot of chicken. But man, they were some good burgers. Some good burgers.
Like, I remember.
I think that's the great thing about living in Portland is that I'm a pretty intuitive eater. I eat what I feel like I want to eat.
Yes.
And I can literally just look at the map and go, oh, this is what I want. And there's like 25 of those things near me in 5 miles. Right.
Right.
And so, yeah. But
Oh,
the
that's
saddest,
amazing.
I do have to say this, one of the saddest things that's going on in Portland right now is a lot of restaurants and bars are closing. And
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
a lot of them have been open for a lot of years. We just lost some really great places in the last
Mm,
6 months. And so it's a little nerve wracking right now because,
yeah.
places that have been open for well over 5 years are closing and you're like, what?
Yeah.
What's going on? Yeah. Yeah.
Right, right. And
Yeah.
no, it's always sad to see it because you're like, oh man, because you know it as an owner, like what it goes into to like start it, maintain it,
Oh,
keep it
yeah.
going, and the fact that to see it go and kind of probably know why, and like it's just how
And nobody
it
quits.
works. Yeah.
No, I don't think anybody in food quits. We
No,
literally, we're like the Terminator. You have to
you
destroy
can't.
us to get us to
I mean,
stop.
it is in our it is in our DNA. Like there's just no way.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think that there's ever going to be a time where I don't do it unless I am physically incapable of doing
Yeah.
it. Because I am such a whore for food. I love it. Like I want to taste it and make it and eat it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there are certain things I'm like, no, that's okay. But for the most part, like I'm pretty, I love it. It's so much a part of my life. And I thank the women in my family for that as well. My grandmother and my aunt were the ones that really were the champions of cooking outside of our own culture and exposing me to, Bon Appetit, the New York Times, those types of recipes, eating lamb, eating rabbit, goose.
Oh my, you are so lucky.
Sauces. And it wasn't until I always knew I wanted to cook. I always knew from a very early age that my life was meant to be out here, out west.
Right.
That epiphany came to me while watching an episode of the Brady Bunch. I don't know. It was something about that moment of seeing the house and the opening shot where like this download just came to me where I was like, that's where you're supposed to go. And I was like maybe 7 or 8 at the time. But the food was always there. And, thankfully the examples that they gave me is what really set me on the path. And I'm one of the few people within my family is still kind of replicating the recipes that they cooked. And, I think it's so important to keep the family recipes going. And, again, like keep putting it out there for people like what you're doing in the bakery, those nostalgic things that you love and you crave that you want to keep reintroducing to people like, oh yeah, you forgot about chocolate covered marshmallows and you forgot about toffee and like these like simple, delicious confections that most people are like, oh, it's good. It's really good. And it still exists for a reason,
Yeah. And listen, I kind of had the opposite experience as you. Like my moms and aunties cooked, but they weren't experimental cooks. It was, very, very pedestrian, goulash, like casseroles, those kind of things. And so my food curiosity was because I wasn't tasting things that I was reading in books about, right? I was kind of starved for interesting food. And I grew up in Eastern Oregon, again, below the poverty line. So food wasn't even celebrated in my family. It wasn't even really a thing. Yeah. And then I moved out and I went to college and I started eating foods that other people were eating. Like I'd never even had a bagel before I was 18.
Yeah.
Certainly had never had lox. What's that? Like, I just didn't know anything about food. Truly. And I was 19 and the first time I was going to school, I had to go to a summer semester down in Arizona. Anyway, it's a long story, but I had a roommate and she had me try menudo. And I never had menudo. I didn't even know what it was. And I was like, what? And then
you
she
were
took
like
me
the
on
band?
No, ma'am. I'm so old. Menudo came out when I was in my 30s. But like I'd never had fry bread. I was like, I had the whitest palate. I grew up in Eastern Oregon, like no salt. Like, you know what I thought seasoning was garlic salt. That's what my family used for seasoning, right? I'm not even exaggerating. So my journey was like every time I would go out, I was trying something new. And then I married this English woman and she had lived all over the world. She loved all of the foods. She took me around. We traveled. She had me try everything. Escargot, caviar. I had never, and I was like, it was like my brain got turned on and my mouth got turned on. And then I was like a junkie. I'm like, give it all. I want it all. Give it all to me. I want to taste everything.
What's that?
Yeah.
You're going to eat that? Going to have that? Yeah.
Truly.
I love
And so
it. I love it. I mean,
yeah.
like, it was such a juxtaposition because like my mom, we grew up poor as well. We didn't really have a lot at all. So like when those events would happen, when I was at my grandmother's house, it was a whole different thing. Because everybody and their mother came over for the holidays. So it was always a full on spread. My mom cooked because she had to.
Yeah.
So we grew
Mine
up going to
too.
food pantries and, having
Yeah,
to,
us too.
be limited to the amount of items that we could get. So my mom would have to be very choosy about the 10 things that we were allowed to get. So it was always like powdered milk and,
Yep.
a big giant box of like generic cornflakes to go with the powdered
Cans,
milk. And,
cans of peas for your vegetables.
Yes. Maybe a box of
Yeah.
spaghetti, maybe a jarred sauce if we got lucky, or if anything, it was always just like tomato sauce in a can.
Right.
But those are the things that, kind of set me on this path of like wanting to cook and being like, okay, when I grow up, I'm going to cook what I want. I'm going to eat what I want. And, growing up with like public television and watching cooking shows and, other artists, Bob Ross and, Mr. Rogers and all that, just there's that constant reinforcement of like, you're special and you can do it. And, don't be afraid. And, it's so important to keep sending that message to people through the things that we do. So again, like, I feel like, you being the example of that and continuing to be a champion of that is so important.
Thank you.
And I really do appreciate you being here. And with that, we're going to wrap it up because, girl, we're going to be having a Friday night peachy, girl. I'm about to get a drink. I'm about to get a little drink. Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. I can't wait to meet you and get to know you and eat your delicious confections because everything just looks so beautiful and yummy and right in our wheelhouse. I think my daughter would really take to it too as well because she loves her sweets. She likes the sweeties. Indeed. All right, so let me ask you my question that I ask everybody on the show before I wrap things up. If you could describe yourself as a 3-course meal, an appetizer, entree, and a dessert, what would you be and why?
Okay, let me think about this for a second. So a 3-course. All right, so probably for the appetizer, I'm probably going to come on with something comforting because I try to be comforting to the people around my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably going to be some warm bread and some olive oil and some salt, but maybe there's some cheese and some grapes. Maybe it's just like a nice little, maybe it just seems a little pedestrian but very comforting opening entree, right?
Right.
Now, none of these things are going to go together. This 3-course meal doesn't have to go together.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Because
like I said, there's no wrong answer. Like you lead with how you feel. You could go from a charcuterie board to a slice of pizza, girl. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, I think probably that's the real answer because I don't think I would be a 3-course meal that would be appetizing all at one time. I think I am better as like a tapas or little bits at a time. Okay, so, but then I think for my main entree, I'm probably something like a curry or an ahiako. I'm something that's like hearty but spicy.
Yes.
I've got some salt in me. I've got some spice in me.
Yes,
just when you think when you're comfortable, getting a little hot under the collar.
A little surprise.
A little sweaty around the nose. Right?
Yeah.
Surprise. So yeah, so that's probably real.
Okay.
And then for dessert, honestly, I'm probably one of my very own 4-ounce or bigger salted peanut butter cookies. Again, peanut butter is comforting to me.
Yes.
It's strong. It's full of protein. And again, I always finish it with a lot of salt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bring it all out. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it. I think I am a comforting appetizer. I fool you. I let you come in, take your shoes off, get comfortable. Right. And then I'm like, let me put something warm in your belly, honey.
Exactly.
And then I do. But now you're crying a little bit. Now you're crying and sweating. And you're wondering, did I make a good decision sitting down here? I'm not sure.
Yes.
And now I'm going to finish it up. Not only am I going to bring you a peanut butter cookie as my dessert, but maybe too a little affogato, maybe a little espresso and ice cream to go with it, right? I want to pick you up again a little bit.
Right, Like, it's okay. You want a hug? You want a hug?
Yeah. But also, it's a little bitter. It's a little bitter and sweet
Right.
too. It's like
it still has an edge. There's still an edge to it. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Don't get too comfy, okay? Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. And then that's why I asked this question, because it really is a proper descriptive of like your personality and like how you start off with something that seems familiar. But as you said, like no two bites are ever the same, which is kind of the point, you know, like that's the draw in is like, oh, okay. And then you're like, really? Well, then there's this. There's this part of it, right? Like, let's keep it real, okay? But then you round it off with like, but then let's bring it home, right? Let's bring you back to the fireplace and get nice and warm and cozy and get you going. And now it's time to go. Yeah.
And by the way, I will insist that we're going to smoke a joint between each level, right? Because that's the best part of it.
Yeah,
that's the best part of it.
Yeah, exactly. Because then each course gets better and better. Because by the time you get to dessert, and you're gonna need that coffee, you're gonna need that affogato.
That's right.
That's for sure. Yeah, because you're gonna be like, huh? Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. That's amazing. Tremendous menu. I love it. Now you need to make it. Maybe you should do something like that for your supper club on Sunday and just be like, you know what? You know, that might be interesting to have everybody kind of like, or maybe do a potluck sometime. Everybody kind of just, what would you be? What would you be if you were an entree? You know what I mean?
No, that's a great idea. Honestly,
right? That'd be fun.
We meet, I think, next Sunday. I think that's a great question because, you know, sometimes we're just like messing around, but it's we haven't had a theme for a while. We've had show and tell. We've had crafty things. But yeah, maybe I think this is great. I'm gonna borrow your little idea.
Do it, girl. Take it and run. Take it and run. Seriously, because I think it's just a fun way to, you know, engage with other people and get them thinking about themselves in a way that like they probably haven't before. Like, what would I be if I was a drink or if I was an appetizer or dessert? And some people's answers have been like really, really, you know, like some people the champagne and caviar and oysters, and I'm like, oh well, I see how you really are in the dark.
Fancy. Yeah. By the way, I have to say, you having a question in your pocket is fantastic. I have a question that I've asked every single employee who's ever worked for me and anybody who ever wanted to invest in my old company. It's a filter question I use, and it usually throws people off when I ask it, but it also tells me a lot about people. If you want, I'll share it with you. Yes.
Yes, please.
And
that would be nice.
This is how we'll wrap it up. The question is this: Nikki, you and I have spent this lovely amount of time together. It's been fantastic getting to know you. But while we were on this podcast, a UFO showed up outside and a little creature walked down the staircase and walked right into the middle between you and me, looked at you, Nikki, and that creature said, "Hey, can you tell me what a human is?" And that's it. That's the full question. And you can answer me if you want, but I will tell you it has affected who I've employed. It has affected who I've spent my time with, because it kind of, if you listen carefully, it'll tell you their outlook on humanity and people. And those are the people that I'm going to be working with. And so I think a filter question is fantastic. I love that you have one.
It's a great one. I'll be honest with you, like one word comes to mind for that answer for me: miracles.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah. Well, I love that. And by the way, I do tell people there is no wrong answer to it, because it's really how we perceive the world, right?
Right.
But I'm more often going to hire somebody who says they're amazing, they're messy, they're chaotic, but it's so, you know, I'm hopeful. But I've had people answer me to my face, well, they're trash bags who all deserve to be destroyed. And I'm like, and that's...
Okay, well, you're not wrong though. Like that's the thing. Like you're like I get it.
Lie.
Yes.
Show me the lie. But also next.
Yeah. But that was the first word that came to my mind was like, we're miracles. You know, it's a miracle that all of us are here, and there's so much to it. You know what I mean? Like we all made it somehow. Like like we got here.
Oh my goodness.
We're here for whatever rhyme or reason. Oh my goodness. It's great. It's great. Well, LB, you know what? This has been such an enlightening experience, and I'm so happy that we did this, and I'm so grateful to you for taking the time out of your day, your life to do this and share time with me and share your story and be such an empowering person, human being, and an example for women like me and so many other people around you to, you know, just step into themselves, embody it, be it, don't dream it, be it, do it. It's great. It's great to see. And I can't wait to meet you in person. And
listen, same woman, you're doing the same thing in your circles. So same, mad respect, and meow, 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 meow,
meow, meow, meow, meow, meow, meow. Motherfucking meow. Okay, that's how we're ending this. Motherfucking meow shit.
Thanks, Nikki. You are a blast.
Thank you guys. So and thank you so much for hanging out with us and watching and hanging out with the madness. And we will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye. Meow, meow.
Bye, meow, meow, meow. Meow,
meow, meow. All right, hold on. Let me end it. Hold on. Let's press stop. And then...
You've been listening to the Mystic Meals Podcast. The Mystic Meals Podcast with your host and producer, Chef Nikki Meow. Kick-ass music by 3 Parts Acid. Follow 3 Parts Acid at 3 Parts Acid on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. The amazing artwork by Art by Bruce 13. Follow Art by Bruce 13 on Instagram. And I'm your voice with the most. I'm Jason Neer. This has been the Mystic Meals Podcast. The Mystic Meals Podcast, copyright 2026. See you next time, kids.